Welcome to a new episode of building background in a night scene and attempting to color a tiger. If you have seen the previous episode, you can see that I am changing things. I have been changing the eyes, and I will make a close-up to show you what I am doing. I used gouache, white gouache paint to cover the eyes of the tiger. Oh, I'm dropping a knife. And I have been using it here and in some other places. And I'm going to show you what I did, because while I'm doing a little bit of testing with this eye, I suddenly saw where I went wrong, and that is that I covered the complete eye with the paint, and because that paint is so fragile, it becomes extremely hard to put color on top of it. It is possible, I have done it before, but it is a very delicate process. So, and I suddenly saw, well, if I first color the contours of the eye that I would like to have, then I only have to cover the areas. I think I have to cover then not as much space on the paper as I would have if I would first cover the complete eye. And I will show you how this knife works. Here is the paint as well, and I can just scrape it off. And that is so nice. And if you do this very delicately with a light hand, you don't really damage the paper that much. Now I did a little bit of testing again, and this is not gouache paint, but this is Chinese white, and this paint is in my watercolor set. And the nice thing was that somebody suggested it on the internet while I was also thinking about testing this. So this paint is here now and there, and I'm just leaving it for a while and see what if that takes colored pencil better than the gouache. Now the interesting thing about this series of videos is that you do not only watch me succeed, but you all will also watch me making my mistakes. And I have to say this ordeal with this tiger's face, if I had left it the way it was, which is okay if you want to just color the head of the tiger just the way that Joanna colored it, that is completely fine. But if I hadn't tried to change it a little bit, then I would have not have had the experience that I have now. And I have to say, this is priceless. Absolutely priceless knowledge. by making these mistakes. Now it seems that the Chinese white is having the same difficulty, maybe even more than the gouache, but well, let's see. So what you can see is that I am making the eyes a little bit smaller. Now, I've been testing a little bit while you were not watching, and this paint is not working. It is worse than the gouache because look, it's like rubber. It won't take colored pencil. So I'm taking it off very carefully, and then well, we need to find a new strategy. But I am happy with the contours of the eyes now. There's another thing that I could do with this knife, and that is scraping off a very thin layer of paper. We used to do that in, look. We used to do that when studying architectural engineering. When I studied that was the time that computer drawings had just been invented, so we did everything by hand in school, in the college. And if we made a mistake, then we took a razor blade, something like what I have now, and then we would scrape our mistakes off the paper. And in this book of Joanna Basford, Magical Jungle, the paper has good quality, and it seems that this is actually the best option, just scraping. Now, when we did this in school, we had a special some sort of eraser that would cover the paper with a new layer because you had damaged the surface. I don't have that eraser anymore. You know, it's been it's 20 years ago. But I am now using this one, light cadmium yellow, to give this tiger a first. Now, as you can see, there is a little bit of the ink line, the original ink line of the pupil is still here, but I think I can leave it there and it will fall away. You won't see it anymore if I put a little bit of shading in the eye. This is raw umber. And with this pencil I'm starting to add a little bit of shading just in the top section of the eye. another mistake that I made was that I put the pupil in before I put in the color of the eye. And because I do not have that much experience with drawing eyes, I wasn't, you know, it just wasn't that good. So I think it is better now to do the eye, to color it first and then add that pupil at the end of the process. And this is the one that I'm using now, walnut brown. I already added a little bit over here. Now let's add just a touch over here too. Now a tiger without pupils looks a bit strange, but I feel this is going much better. So what I learned today is, and in the whole process, is that scraping off a little bit of paper seems to work much better than covering it with paint. So I will now go in with the black again, just add a little touch here and there. I will now go to the background and add a little bit more color over there, and I'm going to use this one, walnut brown. I want to thank you all for the enormous amount of support that I receive in comments, suggestions, emails, thank you notes, thank you presents that are being sent to me. Oh, that is so special. I had never imagined that those things would happen. I also want to thank you for all the suggestions that you make for the coloring book that I am working on. It is a huge process, I have to say. And well, there is Some great suggestions have been made, and I hope they will be it will be possible to make this coloring book the way we all want it to be. This is the next color, Prussian Blue. This is from Carandash Luminance. And something happened. Look at this. Do you see that? There is white on the tip. And that is because I left this pencil in the sun for a pretty long while. So, this is wax that has melted and has solidified, is that the right word? So I have to sharpen it. So this looks better. Very sharp point. So the coloring book is almost complete when it comes to the drawings, but I visited my parents yesterday. There's a plane. It sounded like a fighter jet, but it wasn't. Anyway, I was visiting my parents yesterday, and I suddenly saw some nice items in their garden that could be very nice subjects in the coloring book, so I think I will add drawings of those items. And then the next step is to find a way to publish it. I have already been into contact, but you know, it is a coloring book is something else than just an ordinary book. And there are two possibilities. I could publish it myself, but that is a financial risk. I really have no idea how many people would like to buy a copy. And so publishing it myself is a risk. But I will look into that, because at this moment it feels right to do it myself. And I know people who were very successful publishing themselves. But of course I will also contact publishers. So I'm now going to use this one, 267. I'm still watching the Olympic Games. It will be just a couple of days, and then it will be over. But I'm really enjoying it, watching it. And I have to say, my favorite Dutch athlete is a guy who didn't win any medals, but he would win the medal of... He should win a special medal. His name is Randy Martina. He comes from the island called Curaçao. It is in the Caribbean, and there are some islands that are part of the Dutch kingdom, and Curaçao is one of them. And this guy Randy, he's a sprinter. And he competed in the 100-meter sprints and 200-meter sprints. Oh, by the way, I am using this one, Bro Amber. Oh, polychromos. And this Randy, he competed in the 100 and 200 meters. And last night he ran the finals of the 200 meters. Usain Bolt won, and Randy had almost the bronze medal. He came 0.01 seconds short, and in another guy, he had exactly the same finishing time as another guy, and so he missed that bronze medal because he came 0.01 seconds, 100th of a second short. We go for Van Dyke Brown. Now, instead of being disappointed for missing that bronze medal, Randy was extremely happy that he managed to be in the finals on his third Olympic adventure. And whenever you see him, he's happy. And a couple of months ago, there were the European Championships, and he won a gold medal. But he stepped on the line, and when you are racing the sprints, you are not allowed to step on a wide line on the track. And when they told him, he took a deep breath and he said, well, there's another chance coming. And that was it. Isn't that amazing? It's an amazing guy. This is a strange color, green gold, but it can do beautiful things. And this year most Dutch Olympic medals are won by women. So this time it is really girl power. This is what I like very much. Look, now I am adding this lighter green gold on top of this darker, and then something special happens. I love that effect. Glorious. Look at that. I love that background. Glorious. And I'm feeling much more hopeful about the eyes as well. Let's add a little bit more green gold. Beautiful color. I'm going to add a little bit of green gold over here as well. I've seen many people receiving their Magical Jungle copy. It is out, so you can buy it if you want. I think this one is going to be a huge success. Because the quality of the book is extremely good. So let's take a step back. I think we are getting somewhere. I am relieved that the eyes look better now, and I think I have more areas where I put on that gouache paper. I think I will take it off and do the same procedure that I did with the eyes, with that little knife. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you again in the next episode. Bye bye.